Hello, I'm Richard, and today I'm going to walk you through how to use JMeter, the Apache JMeter for load test of websites. Load testing is basically determining the performance, that is the reliability, speed, and stability of the website when it's being used concurrently by several users. Imagine you are being asked to determine the behavior of yahoo.com if it's being used by 1,000 users. Imagine the kind of infrastructure, number of computers and people you have to get assembled to test this particular performance of yahoo.com. That's when load testing tools come in. There are several load testing tools, namely Load UI, Load Ninja, and the like. But why Apache JMeter? Apache JMeter is free of cost, very important. It's also easily customizable. It has a community support system which adds new features anytime a user reports a problem. So Apache JMeter basically simulates how the website behaves when it's being used by a number of users. So Apache JMeter is Java based and it's usable on any platform that accepts Java. So without much ado, let's delve into today's video. So PC. Then you go to the bin file, open the bin file, then under the bin file you open the batch file. So wait a bit and then to load. When it loads, on the left hand side you have all the tools assembly that you use for the testing, and on the right hand side you have the nature of the test plan, how the test plan will be displayed when you are inputting your various variables, and then so what we'll do that we'll add our first test plan. So you go to add and new thread and then sample and then add new listen. So here you have your thread group, number of threads, ramp up period. The number of threads is basically the number of users. Then the ramp up period, number of seconds, then loop count. Then you also have what the action to take anytime an error occurs. So you have continue, start next thread loop, stop thread, stop test, and the like. So let's add our ATP listing. So you go to add sampler, then add the ATP request. Then I want to use simplylearn.com. So let's go to simplylearn.com and then copy the website URL. Yeah, here we have it. Then we paste it in the server name for IP column. Yeah. So we have to move the HTTP part since it automatically displays on top there. So I'll simply rename it as simply. Yeah. So let's add another HTTP request. We go to add sampler, then HTTP request. So let's use the resources URL here. Yeah, so we copy it and then we come and paste it in the name or the IP column. Then let's remove the resources side and then let's copy it and then remove the HTTP part. Then we paste the resources part in the path section. Then let's rename this particular request as resource. So here we have it. So let me add another HTTP request. So let's go to add sampler, then go to HTTP request. Let's go to simplylearn.com. Let's look at the corporate training. Okay. So let's copy and then the corporate training URL. Then let's paste it in server name. Let's remove the corporate training part, and let's remove the HTTP since it will automatically recognized by the system. Then let's take the corporate training in the path section, as you can see. So I'll rename the whole request as corporate. Okay. So now let's save this folder as let me save it as loadtest.jmx. Yeah, loadtest.jmx. Yeah, we'll be using it in the non-graphical load test. So let's save it so we'll use later on. So here, there we are. So let's now add a listener. Listeners are like how the output or the result will be displayed. It controls the display of the result. So let's add a listener here. We go to add sampler, then go to listener, then add one. So now we can run. We are now set to run the result. So you can choose to click on the green run icon or symbol there, or you can click on the run button at the top, or you right click on the JMeter and then click run. So let's click on the green run button. So there we have our result. There we have our result. So this is using the graphical method. Yeah. So the results only use one loop. Since we choose only one user, the results were very quickly displayed. So let's change the number of users to 10, change our ramp up period to 2, and then change the loop count to 10. And then we'll run it again. So let's run it again and see the number of seconds or the time it takes to complete the run. Yeah, so there we have it. So you see that it's taking longer than the first aspect because the number of users were what 2, but now we made it 10 users, so it's taking a bit longer. So this is using the graphical user. There are two types of testing with JMeter. You can use the graphical or non-graphical. So this is with the graphical. The non-graphical we use command prompt. So let's remove this and let's go to command prompt. Let's try the non-graphical listing. Test load testing. So let's go and copy the path of the load of the bin folder. That's where we had the batch file, and paste it in the command prompt and run it. So now we have to add our JMeter application. So we have the -n, -t, and then -l. The -n represents the non-graphical load testing. The -t there represents the load test file that we see. So you have the load test file. You go to backup, the load test JMX file that we see, then copy the path and come and paste it after the -t. So always remember to add the file name, that's the load test .jmx. So always forget to add the file name to /load test.jmx there. Then the -l, so let's remove the C double hyphen there. Yeah, to enable a smooth run. Then the -l there represents the display, a kind of display file. So let's create a display file where the results will be stored. So let's create one here. Load testing here. Then we store that CSV. So let's copy the file, then come and paste it here. Then let's add the name. Don't forget to always add the name of the file. So loading.csv. So there we have it. So let's remove the C dash there to enable a smooth run. Yeah. Yeah, so there we have it. So that's where the results will be stored. Yeah. So now let's run. So you see that we have the successfully run and then the end of run. So this indicates a successful run of the load testing using the non-graphical method, and that's our results file that is created in Excel. So we click it and then we see everything has been displayed successfully. So this is how we do load testing using the non-graphical method using Apache JMeter. Now I'll talk about the dashboard, the Apache JMeter dashboard, which gives you more insight on the results of the test. That it displays the results of the test graphically and then does certain analysis for you. So in my next video, I'll delve more into the Apache JMeter dashboard. Thanks for your time and see you in the next video.